Morning guys, welcome back to another video. It's Sunday morning, November 21st. I'm in my basement, and like I said in the last video, just got home from deer hunting the other day, brought all my ice gear down. Weather has turned here in Minnesota and we're looking at making ice already, so figured I'd do a little review on all my gear. For those that are interested, get a lot of questions on what I use and how I film these videos, so I'm going to do a high level, go through all the gear real quick, and if you have any questions, just let me know. So let's just get right at it. Alright, let's start with the rods and reels first, and then we'll move on to all the equipment behind me that we use for underwater filming. So, rocking the Eagle Claw case. Had no problems with this thing last year. Went through that and back, it didn't break, but as you can see, I got all my rods in here, which I'll grab out and go through real quick with you guys. So, you know, a cheap little case does the trick. I got it because I don't like all the traditional cases where you got to fold your reels up and lay them flat just to get the case shut. I bought this one. You know, it's a little bit bulkier, but you can leave the reels fully intact, so they all sit in there nicely, and you can just grab your pole and go. So that's why I went to Eagle Claw. So far, no problems with it. So I'm gonna set this aside here. Let's go through what I got in this box. Let's start with my Panfish rods. Right here. All my rods are DellaBay customs. And if you haven't checked those guys out, you need to. The link's below, but they make some really nice rods. So these are my two Panfish rods, and they're full cork DellaBay. This one's the Noodle, which I believe they have the Pan Sizzler now. This one's a few years old. And then the Pronto Pup. This is just a little bit longer, lighter rod. And these are my two Panfish killers. What I got on here is a 13 Fishing Black Betty Freefall. And these are super nice reels for those that are looking for an in-line reel. I believe this is their basic model. Shouldn't say basic, they're still like $70, but they go up from there, from like the Black Betty to, you know, the Black Betty Pro or whatever it is. Here's one of my noodle rods right here, and the other one is the Pronto Pup DellaBay makes. Once again, I got the Black Betty Freefall, and this is going to be the one I'll probably mainly use, and it's their newer rod. And here I'll show you guys that trigger, and most of you guys have already seen it, but hit the trigger right here, tungsten goes down, pretty slick, fish on, reel up, good to go. So here's my two Panfish rods. Just a quick little look at them. Alright, and then now let's check out a couple of the other heavier lines. This is the 15 for 2. It's a 35-inch medium light rod. And I actually was using this as my dead stick last year. Pretty cool little setup here, this Akuma bait feeder, if you guys haven't seen these. But what that does is that, in theory, has this back switch. And then when your bobber's sitting down, when the fish pulls the line, this gives it no tension. Flip the switch, set the hook, and fish on. So, alright, moving on. This is my next size up model. This is the 32-inch medium eyedropper. It's a really nice rod. Really enjoy this one for the, you know, mille lacs jigging for walleyes, and that's my main jigging rod. I would say is this one. I kind of like this one the most. I got the Sedona 500 on here by Shimano. Solid reel. I got that on my other one as well, so you'll see these on there. And I believe I got 6-pound test on this one. I like to use Suffix Ice Magic line, so kind of didn't go over the line. But in my two Panfish rods, I use 3-pound test. I believe I got 8-pound on my dead stick, and then I got 6-pound on this one right here. So my jigging rod, it's kind of my go-to main rod right here. Put all my spoons, rip and wraps, jigging baits, all them, you know, nice profile baits for walleyes or anything like that. So, all right, last rod here is my newest one that I picked up at the end of the season. This is the Rip and Rattle. This is DellaBay's medium heavy, 38-inch, kind of their bigger rod series. It's got the full cork. I got the Sedona 1000 on this one, a little bit bigger reel to go with it, and I got some 8-pound Power Pro ice braid along with a steel leader. You guys might not saw a whole lot of video of it, but I was kind of using this with the bigger spoons, the bigger baits, and trying to target a lot bigger fish. So you'll probably see me use this rod a lot. Going to be targeting some bigger fish with it. So this is their medium heavy Rip and Rattle rod, solid cork, and can't wait to catch some fish on it. Don't think I've actually caught a fish on this rod yet, so hopefully a solid pike on this rod. A lot of fun, you know, instead of always hand lining them like I do, I'd like to catch them on a reel as well. So that is the last rod in my arsenal. They also make a heavy rod, 40-inch, for those lake sturgeon, lake trout, for those guys targeting that. So there's my rod set up, looking pretty good. Can't wait to get back out on the ice with them. Yeah, so Eagle Claw case, DellaBay rods. There is a discount code below too if you are interested in a custom rod. Do you need a custom rod to catch fish? Absolutely not. But those that are interested in something nice and quality that's right up there with tuned up customs, if not better, check these guys out. So, moving on. Back in the case. Here's a couple of my boxes right here. I don't have a whole lot of tackle, but I'll show you guys what I do have. This is the first box. This is mainly for dead sticking. I got bobbers, some large sucker hooks, some weights, some bobber stops, just kind of your go-to dead sticking stuff. Alright, from a jig box, I'll show you guys first my Panfish Jigs. I love using small tungsten jigs along with everyone else. Kender's is the brand I use. I like these guys, you know, they're local, they make a good product, and they're affordable. You know, you don't have to spend $7 for some little clam jig. I think they're about $2.50 and they're well worth it. 5mm, number 12 hook, that's about my go-to size. This one's pink glow. You'll see I have a lot of pink jigs. I like pink with a white worm, which will be right here. Just a little white plastic is all you need. And this is the one I found a couple years ago by accident, and it's probably my favorite bait, the only one I really ever use. This is the Lunker Spade bait, and that's just a white little go-to spade bait right there. And you know, if I want to go a little more finesse, I'll just trim it down so it's a little less to bite on, but that's all I really need right there for panfish. That, a little tungsten pink jig, and you got yourself a panfish killer right there. I used to use Trigger X mustache worms, if you guys remember the Trigger X brand. I don't know why they went out of business, but they used to be my go-to bait, but for now, it's going to be Lunker Hunt. And then in here, you can see there's a lot of all my spoons and jigs, whether you can see that or not. You don't need to add to it, but you know, got your traditional slender spoons, all kinds of rattle flyers and rattling baits, VMC rattle spoons. Got a little Lindy Wally talker. Haven't caught a fish on that yet, but haven't really used it either. Here's my go-to Daredevil. If you guys remember last year, I was catching fish on Daredevils, and I have a few more to add to the box that are in the garage right now. I got about 4 different colors, so we're going to be using them a lot. I think my goal is to catch a walleye on Mille Lacs on the Daredevil, so watch for that. I got some ripping wraps. Here's a bait I picked up last year that I hadn't got to use. You guys saw the gold slab wrap a bunch. You know, you gotta love when you grab your jigs out and they all hook to each other. But this one I used just a little bit at the end of the season, and where I was fishing in the weeds, it's not a good bait because it moves around a lot. But this is the Hyper Rattle bait that's got little wings here, so when it comes up, it flutters down and kind of cruises all over. So I'm gonna use that a lot. I'm gonna probably get it more of an open lake like Mille Lacs and see if I can't get on some fish with this little guy. So watch for that as well. If I were to be out fishing for walleye, you know, with a spoon tipped with a minnow head, my go-to color, I would say, for me is usually gold and black. I got a couple of these. I've been had a lot of success out using those. Other than that, got some jigs. Here's some Kender's Aqua jigs. These are just kind of with a little skirt on them. Other than that, kind of don't got to go through them all. Just some more jigs and spoons. So typical ice fishing stuff. There it is in the box. Ready to go. Last year you guys saw I converted my Helix 5 that was on my boat with the conversion kit for ice. So for those that are interested, I did make a video on that. That's in my videos. But here it is. Keep it powers on. I haven't charged it yet, but I'm sure it'll turn on. And loving this unit. Like I said, I converted it to the ice mode. It's got ice mode and summer mode, so now I get to use it 12 months out of the year. So in my eyes, these hummingbirds are kind of the way to go for summer and winter. And on the back of that, we'll open it up, and I've been enjoying, I don't know if you guys can see it, Markham came out with those brute batteries, lithium. Lithium's the way to go. I went all lithium last year. I'll show you those in my other units as well. But yeah, funny Markham battery hummingbird. But hey, it works great. If you get your hands on that lithium battery, that's where it's at. You know, I'm not biased. You can get Dakota or all the other brands too, but lithium's definitely where it's at. Moving along, just fell into my hands here. This is my smaller Aquaview unit. This is for mainly I was using for filming until I bought the new unit, but now it's more of my quick action light ice or spot checker. So this is the Micro Revolution 5.0 Pro, and this right here is a sweet unit. Too bad they don't make it in HD, but I'm still happy with this unit. Records for like 8 hours, battery stays super long, and it does have this nice spool on the back, so you get down there, reel it up, and you can hole hop with it. So it was my main unit for recording, but now what I pretty much use it for is I hop around with this, find out where I want to set up for the day, and then we set up the main equipment, which I'll show you guys, which is kind of a arsenal of setup, but looks good on camera. So Revolution 5.0, you'll see that out early ice, and then me spot checking some spots with it. Alright, moving along, I can just talk about the new camera, I guess. You guys saw this last year. This is the Aquaview Hd7i Pro. This is their HD series, and this is the unit that you guys were loving the footage last year off of. It's got the nice quality camera. It's got a little locking spot for it, and I was really happy with this unit. You know, I wish I had a built-in recording feature, but as of right now, they do not offer that. The battery life on it's not the greatest when you're out in, you know, negative 40-degree weather, but you might get an hour or so on it, which I was aware of when I bought it, and you can mod it out and open this thing up and, you know, watch videos of putting a lithium in there. So last year I picked up this battery box you guys probably saw in some of my videos. The guy at work made this for me. I love it. It's freaking awesome, and it pretty much charges and keeps everything charged all day long, several days actually. It's got some top switches here you put in, controls each one, tells you put in some lights on it, and a little connector in case you have like some internal lights that you want to connect to without opening the box to keep it waterproof. And on here we have the cigarette lighter is what keeps this thing running, and then a couple USB slots which you can charge your phone or any other thing you have with you. So this thing is what's pretty much my main powerhouse. Without this I couldn't record for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. This thing keeps everything running. But this unit right here, the Auger Media 2, this is what records all the videos, and this is just a pass through from here to here, and this keeps it charged, and it records right to an SD card. Pretty cool little setup, and like I said, I have a video on how all this sets up. Behind the scenes it's quite a mess and a lot of work, but I do enjoy doing all that work to give you guys some quality video. So there it is. These 3 units is what makes that footage. Any questions, let me know. Like I said, move this up here. Alright, moving on. For those that are still watching, how do I get through the ice? Last year I picked up the Strike Master Lithium 24-volt auger, and this thing is a beast. I love it. It's super light. Yeah, bring it out to early ice. And I'm excited to drill some holes. So they state it can drill 50 holes through 16 inches of ice. I tested that. A lot of people tested that. It doesn't stand true. But in my eyes, I don't need 50 holes, and I knew that going in, because when I tried to drill it, I got to about 25, and that was more holes than a guy needs for me. So this thing is awesome. I love it, and don't have a problem with it so far. Alright, a couple things left is my heater. I'm rocking the Big Buddy heater by Mr. Heater. And, you know, this does the job, but I've had a lot of issues with it, and, you know, right out the box issues with it, and I've read a lot of people having issues with these units, so I'm not sure what's going on, but right now it's my go-to unit, and maybe if something better comes along the way, I'll get that. You know, that new Buddy Flex heater is kind of expensive, but looked like it had some good reviews. So for now, this will be my unit. I don't have my fish house in here, but I do have the Auger Pro XTH hub, and really love it. I think Auger makes the best hubs out there. The zipper, the quality, everything is just on point. So I'm really loving that ice house, and I do have a clam flip over as well for that early ice single man. But I mainly just use that to haul all my gear out. So there's my video there, guys. All my gear. Any questions, let me know. I'll end her here, and I hope you guys are getting excited for some early ice. And with the weather in Minnesota, it's not going to be long unless you're already out ice fishing. Good luck. Be safe. We'll see you back for another video.